Can you understand this story without reading subtitles? Welcome back to day 3 of our 30-day active input challenge. Today, I'm going to tell you about one of the most memorable moments in my English learning journey, my first real English conversation. But before we begin, I have a listening challenge for you. At the end of my story, why did I finally become more confident speaking English? A, because my English became perfect. B, because I realized that making mistakes is completely okay. C, because I memorized more vocabulary. Don't guess. Listen carefully until the very end. Then comment A, B, or C below. And if you're ready to improve your English every day, don't forget to subscribe and join me for all 30 days of this challenge. Now, let's begin. For a long time, I believed my English wasn't good enough. I knew many grammar rules. I had memorized hundreds of vocabulary words. I could understand simple stories. I could even watch short English videos without subtitles. But there was one thing I was always afraid of: speaking. Every time I imagined having a real conversation in English, I became nervous. I worried that my pronunciation wasn't good enough. I worried that I would forget simple words. Sometimes I even worried that people would laugh at my mistakes. Because of those fears, I avoided speaking English whenever I had the chance. Instead, I spent most of my time listening. I listened to podcasts while walking. I watched YouTube videos every evening. I read simple English stories before going to bed. Day after day, my listening became better. My vocabulary slowly grew, but my speaking never improved. Why? Because I almost never practiced it. Deep inside, I knew the only way to become a better speaker was to actually speak. But fear always stopped me. Then one day, something unexpected happened. It was a quiet Saturday afternoon. I decided to visit a small coffee shop near my house. I often went there because it was peaceful. There weren't many people, the music was soft, and it was the perfect place to study. I ordered my favorite drink, found a table near the window, and opened my notebook. That afternoon, I was reviewing some new vocabulary and writing example sentences. I was completely focused. About 10 minutes later, someone walked into the cafe. I didn't pay much attention at first, but a few moments later, I heard a voice beside me. "Excuse me?" I looked up. A young man was standing next to my table. He smiled politely and asked, "Is anyone sitting here?" For a second, my mind went completely blank. Not because I didn't understand him. I understood every word. The problem was, he was speaking English, and he was speaking to me. I felt my heart beating faster. This was the first time a complete stranger had started a conversation with me in English. I took a deep breath and answered, "No, please, have a seat." He smiled. "Thank you." Then he sat down across from me. I looked back at my notebook and tried to continue studying. But honestly, I couldn't focus anymore. My mind was full of questions. Should I say something? Should I stay quiet? What if he asked me another question? What if I couldn't answer? A few minutes passed, then he noticed the English book on my desk. He looked at it and smiled. "Are you learning English?" There it was. Another question. Another opportunity. For a second, I almost pretended I hadn't heard him. That would have been the easy choice. But then I thought to myself, if I don't speak today, when will I ever start? I smiled. "Yes, I've been learning English for about 2 years. His face lit up. "That's great. What made you start learning English?" This time, I didn't panic. I thought carefully before answering. I want to communicate with people from different countries. I also enjoy watching English videos. And one day, I'd like to travel abroad. He nodded with a smile. Those are wonderful reasons. Little by little, the conversation became easier. He spoke slowly. He listened carefully. He never rushed me. Whenever I needed a few seconds to think, he waited patiently. That made me feel much more comfortable. Soon, we were talking about our hobbies. He told me that he enjoyed hiking and photography. I told him that I loved drawing and learning new languages. We laughed when we discovered that we both enjoyed visiting quiet coffee shops. For the first time, speaking English didn't feel like an exam. It felt like a real conversation. Of course, I still made mistakes. Sometimes I forgot a word. Sometimes I used the wrong grammar. Sometimes I stopped in the middle of a sentence because I wasn't sure what to say next. Every time that happened, I expected him to laugh, but he never did. Instead, he simply waited, smiled, and encouraged me to continue. At that moment, something inside me slowly began to change. Challenge answer. So, did you get the correct answer? The answer is B, because I realized that making mistakes are completely okay. If you chose B, congratulations. You were listening very carefully. If your answer wasn't correct, don't worry. The goal isn't to understand every single word. The goal is to understand the main idea, and every time you listen, you'll understand a little more now. Let's take a closer look at some useful expressions from today's story. Part 2, Vocabulary Upgrade. Today we'll learn 4 useful expressions. These are common expressions that native English speakers use in everyday conversations. Try to notice how they're pronounced because you'll hear them again in many real conversations. Number 1, for a while. This expression means for a period of time. We don't know exactly how long. It could be a few weeks, a few months, or even a few years. For example, I've been learning English for a while. Notice that we often use this expression with the present perfect tense. Number 2, go blank. When your mind goes blank, you suddenly can't think of anything. Maybe you're nervous, maybe you're surprised, or maybe you simply forget what you wanted to say. For example, my mind went blank during the interview. Have you ever experienced that? It happens to almost everyone. Number 3, keep practicing. This simply means continue practicing without giving up. Learning English isn't about studying for one day. It's about practicing consistently. For example, keep practicing every day and you'll become more confident. Small improvements every day create big results over time. Number 4, communication is more important than perfection. This is today's key sentence. Many English learners are afraid of making mistakes. Because of that, they don't speak. But remember, your goal isn't to speak perfect English. Your goal is to communicate. If people understand you, you've already succeeded. That's why communication is always more important than perfection. Excellent. Now you know the key expressions from today's story. Let's see how much you remember. In the next part, I'll ask you 3 questions. Listen carefully. And see if you can answer them without looking at the subtitles. Part 3, Listening Review. Now, let's see how much you remember from today's story. This time, don't worry about understanding every single word. Just focus on the main ideas. Ready? Let's begin. Question 1. Where did the conversation happen? A, at the library. B, at a coffee shop. C, at a train station. The correct answer is B, at a coffee shop. That's where I met someone who completely changed the way I thought about speaking English. Great job if you got it right. Question 2. Why was I so nervous? A, because I didn't know any English. B, because I was afraid of making mistakes. C, because I forgot my notebook. The correct answer is B, because I was afraid of making mistakes. I knew English. I just didn't believe in myself. Sometimes our biggest obstacle isn't our English, it's our fear. Question 3. What sentence completely changed my mindset? A, practice makes perfect. B, communication is more important than perfection. C, never make mistakes. The correct answer is B, communication is more important than perfection. That one sentence completely changed the way I learned English. After that day, I stopped worrying about speaking perfectly. Instead, I focused on communicating, and that's when my confidence started to grow. Part 4, Shadowing Practice. Now it's your turn to speak. Listen carefully, pause the video, then repeat each sentence out loud. Ready? Let's start. I've been learning English for a while. My mind went blank. I I was afraid of making mistakes. Communication is more important than perfection. Every mistake helps me improve. Confidence comes because you speak. Meaning, excellent. Remember, speaking out loud is one of the fastest ways to improve your pronunciation and build confidence. Even if you only practice for a few minutes every day, you'll notice a big difference over time. Ending. Fantastic work! You've just completed day 3 of our 30-day active input challenge. Every story you listen to, every new word you learn, and every sentence you repeat brings you one step closer to speaking English more naturally. Remember, you don't need perfect English to start speaking. You just need the courage to say your first sentence. Keep listening, keep practicing, and most importantly, don't be afraid of making mistakes, because every mistake is another chance to learn. Before you leave, here's today's question. Have you ever had a real conversation in English? If your answer is yes, tell us where it happened. If not, where would you like to have your first English conversation? Write 1 or 2 sentences in English in the comments below. I'd love to read your answers. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss day 4 of our 30-day active input challenge. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, keep learning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.